Every day, there are issues happening around us that tend to shape the destiny of our country and our lives. How well are you impressed with those issues and their impacts? Join Insight Liberia on Kear 95.9 FM an early evening, informative, thought-provoking and stimulating political talk show that digs deep into the political, social, economic, and developmental issues and unpack them for you with accurate.
The past 2 weeks in the upper chamber have been dominated by accusations and counter-accusations, shaping key developments within the Senate. As lawmakers reconvene for the final legislative duty of the week, they do so with a clear sense of determination to move on. In a matter of public importance, the Senate's leader readdresses.
Every day, there are issues happening around us that tend to shape the destiny of our country and our lives. How well are you impressed with those issues and their impacts? Join Insight Liberia on Kear 95.9 FM an early evening, informative and interactive, thought-provoking and stimulating political talk show that digs deep into the political, social, economic, and developmental issues and unpack them for you with accurate, balanced, and credible analysis as well as reports from across the counties. It's Insight Liberia with your host, Maurice Desmond Brown, from Mondays to Fridays, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. on Kear 95.9 FM. You dare not miss it.
It's another day, and of course, we are back to talk about the issues that we never cease to finish. But again, Liberia has to survive. The survivability of our country depends on all of us Liberians. As we continue to love our country, think our country, and do those things that requires of us as responsible citizens. So we've come to talk about the issues that matter. Yeah, Kear don't hold our tongue. We speak truth to power. It is the true essence of democracy that we're practicing every day. It is a lovely, wonderful Friday afternoon in the nation's capital, Monrovia. It is a privilege to sit behind this microphone again to bring you another edition of the program Inside Liberia on Kear Radio 95.9. And it's always a pleasure, always a wonderful moment engaging you, the public, telling you issues that you are yearning for, bringing information right to your doorsteps. And that is why we've come, and that is why Kear is about. Kear is about dissemination of our information. And of course, we've come to talk about all of the issues here at Kear Radio 95.9. So today is Friday, and it is the 14th day of the month of March, and the year is 2025. If you are celebrating birthdays on today, happy birthday to you. If you are to celebrate birthdays on tomorrow, like my big brother and friend, Honorable William Vanny Dakel, is set to celebrate his birthday on tomorrow. It is a great pleasure to always be associated with a great man like you, Honorable Dakel, former representative of District Number 17. And of course, if you have already celebrated your birthday, it is also a privilege for me to say happy belated birthday, like my friend and brother Francis Nyamfo. Okay, Francis Nyamfo celebrated his birthday on the 12th of March. We didn't have the opportunity to wish him well on his birthday, but we are here this afternoon wishing him very well on a new age. So, Honorable Dakel, this entire presentation is dedicated to you. This entire presentation today is dedicated to you, Honorable William Vanny Dakel of District 17, former lawmaker, former Deputy Director General for Administration, the General Services Agency. So it's good to have you. It's good to always be around you as a big brother and a father figure. But again, folks, welcome to it. And this is Kear Radio 95.9. My name is Morris Desmond Brown. And together we're going to have ourselves a great time. The program is Inside Liberia, and we are expected to take there is something coming out of Lofa. So there are some issues there in Lofa County. We might talk to Molu Freeman of Radio Kintoma, who probably will talk to us. We might talk to him before the end of the show. And again, let's give you a lineup of what's going to happen here until 5:50 this afternoon. So right now, we'll run you through with national issues, talk about some of the trending issues in Liberia. And then at 5 o'clock, we will have a walking-in guest from the Healthy Vocational Institute. We'll talk about some of the issues and how young people can advance themselves. So we will be talking education at 5 o'clock. That will take us up to 5:50. So yes, it's an opportunity for those of you living around where the school is. You might have this burning desire of taking yourself to another level in terms of vocational education. So TVET is very important to our country. So yeah, we'll look at it. We'll look at that. 5 o'clock, Louis Secretary will be here to talk to us. Yeah, so until then, you are in safe hands. Next week, we'll bring on a folks from the CDC wanting to talk about some of the issues happening in the country. So next week, Ishaka Sharif will sit with us, former assistant minister at Internal Affairs. We're also hoping to get some folks from the Unity Party as well. So it is going to be a long, week next week. But however it is, let's begin with this week as we talk education at 5 o'clock. So stay with me until later on. There are some breaking news we ought to give you as well. Only Kear Radio can do that at about this time. So welcome, folks, wherever you are and however you're listening. It is a pleasure to always be in your company. My name is Morris Desmond Brown. A bass of the team song will be back just in a jiffy.
Mobile kutinga na bomengo asenia amandenga na bimi mobile kutinga na bangenge asenia dirige na bimi na baniko bimanaye babangi kopenga monsieur Mario apindi moto na kanisi biloko yanga yaye Mario kende Mario na bayeyo Koyoka motema pasite ndakonga moko na futaka bilamba la sombela yo atikeli yo souvenir ya bolingo oye zali na lavage na kotinela yo na bato.
Okay, and it is good to have you. Those of you watching us live on we've upgraded our Facebook page, just so you know. It's not Kear Network again like it used to be. You see that Kear Radio 95.9 FM and Kear TV. So that is what you see right there. And on YouTube is the same. You can catch us up on YouTube right now. It is very important. So those of you watching us live, you can get us live on Kear Radio 95.9 FM in Kear TV. So you can just punch it in on your Facebook, and of course you will have us live on your phone so that you know exactly what we're discussing. Those of you that are watching now, share the video please, and leave your comments on our live feed. Please tell us where you're watching us from. I see scores of you watching already. Just leave your comments there. We will have them read out for you right on the program. We're going to do our best to read all your comments and making sure that your comments will be read. So let's continue to share the video. Those of you who are probably watching, please share the video so others can join the broadcast as we have this wonderful Friday edition of the program Inside Liberia on Kear Radio 95.9. So again, it's been a long week, too many different meetings and different conversations, different engagements, and we've come for the Friday's edition of the program, and we are very grateful that you, the ordinary people, are there in your very homes, and you are watching us, and you are listening to us via your radio. We appreciate all of you for always taking up time to be with us. It is very important. You know, your services to country, the way you love Liberia, the way you show it in your commitment to always participating in some of these national discourse. It's very important that we acknowledge that and continue to give you the flowers. So those of you that are watching, please leave your comments. Tell us where you're watching us from, and if you have reservations, questions, or comments, or maybe commendations, whatever they are, just leave them right on the live feed. We will read them out for you. So you can just catch us. Those of you who want to watch the show live, you can just catch us on Kear Radio 95.9 FM and Kear TV. You will get us live right on your phone. And so this is very important. Well, too many things have been happening in the country. The NIMA's election, by-elections to replace Senator Prince Yomin Johnson, who passed few months ago. It's in sight. There are people campaigning, and different things are coming up. The issue of mesogamism, has come up. The issue of sexism has also come up in that campaign. We will talk a little bit about it, because nobody whatsoever, no one wherever should discriminate against a female that is that's being mesogamy, that's being a mesogamy. You can fight against a woman. Women too have the space, to compete for political office. And if you are in a political race, or you're battling for a political seat, it is prudent enough that you respect any woman who is participating in that particular race, because it is not set aside for masculine. It is it is not by force that the legislature become masculinous. It doesn't sound good. It doesn't sound well if the entire legislature is masculinous. But again, we will talk about it. Representative Samuel Koga, who is campaigning for the seat as well, made some very, very ill-fitted and very, very demeaning statement of a woman who is probably contesting in that by-elections. We'll talk about that. Today was set aside for the leadership of the House of Representatives, headed by the majority bloc speaker, Richard Nangbekun, to file in their returns at the Supreme Court. Because you may be aware, the Supreme Court came down with the writ inviting both parties of the impasses at the House to submit. There is a complaint already and a bit of information that is before the full bench of the Supreme Court. So the leadership was asked to file in their returns, and I'm very sure today they did. If they didn't, it is very important that they do. My brother and friend Theodoric, and that is Mr. Sambulai, is watching from Broadview City. Thanks so much, my dear Fatana brother. He is Mr. Sambulai. He's watching us from district number 17 in the Broadview City as well. So thank you so much, my brother, and please share the video as well, so others can join in and join the broadcast. So today they should have filed in their returns, and we're very sure that they have done that, because it's almost closer to court's time, or if not the closeout, the court have already closed. The impasses at the House. We got to talk a few things about it, and then before we talk about the Nima County politics. Like I said, 5 o'clock. Please, we're not taking calls now. I see people trying to put in calls. We are probably not taking calls now. We will open the lines later on. Just hold your peace. Just hold your peace. We will do that. So it is very important for us to look at the impasses at the House. What has been the political ramifications? What has happened? What are the repercussions the impasses at the House have caused? And these are things that we ought to look at, because it is very important. When the legislature has a problem, it affects the government's functionaries. It affects the government in generality. And so the legislature is a very, very peculiar arm of government. In fact, in our body politics and as per our governance structure, the legislature is the first branch of the Liberian government. And being the first branch of the Liberian government, it shows that it is being represented by the ordinary Liberians who probably may have stood in the sun and the rains to vote for the people who are representing them now. So they are a facsimile of the Liberian people. So when you see the legislature, you see lawmakers, you see representatives and senators, they are direct representative. They are the photocopy. That's why I said the facsimile of the Liberian people. So you see them there. That is why they are the first group of people in the Liberian government. But in time past, what we've seen is controversies, leadership defects, the issues that brought us around, leadership instability, and just everything. But again, we've reached a critical juncture in our politics that we cannot allow ourselves to be divided on party lines, on political diversities. Yes, these diversities may continue, may persist, but it is very important for us to put our hearts together to make our country great. Other countries are experiencing similar. I was doing a research, and let me welcome my dear brother and friend, Boyman Harris. He's a very, very, very good friend of mine, not just a friend, but a brother. We've been knowing each other for a very long time. It is very good to recognize him as well. Matthew Tukpa of the Liberia Marketing Association. He serves as the procurement director there. I want to say thank you. You are a very ardent follower of the show. I want to give it up to you, Mr. Matthew Tukpa from the Liberia Marketing Association. You there as the director of procurement. Thank you so much for always joining us to talk about our country, Liberia. So you cannot allow the impasses to continue to persist. I know sometimes our political diversity, our urge for political attainment may rumble our sense of direction and the love for country. That love for country that we refer to as patriotism should be the hallmark. And so in time past, the horse has been engulfed with leadership crisis. And like I said to you, if the legislature is at war with itself, if the executive is extending its political tentacles in the body politics of the legislature, other countries are going through the same, like I said. Nigeria is experiencing similar, with a senator being suspended, and it has been just it. The president of the Nigerian Senate, Goswell Akpabio, has been using his powers, and announcing suspension of Senator Natasha of one of the states. And these things affect the overall performance of the legislature. Now, when these impasses started at the legislature, we were one of the few journalists in this country who started raising the red flag. We started raising the red flag on grounds that it will hamper and it will bring our country to public disrepute. It would have brought our country to public ridicule. We knew these things would have happened. That is why we started to raise the red flag from the very beginning when it started. Nobody listened to us. Nobody thought that what we're saying was the actual thing that we should have dwelt on. Everybody thought that we're just saying it because we journalists, we look for things to talk. That is how they term it. Today, our country has been plugged into controversies, even on the international scene. Even some of the continental bodies are condemning what we're doing in Liberia. Is it not a shame for our country? How many of us don't see the writings on the wall? that the impasses at the House is bringing Liberia to its knees internationally. Nobody wants to do business with us because our country is plugged and our legislature is plugged into controversies of leadership defects. And we said, yeah, we want to address the issue. We want to mesmerize and pinpoint what has happened. No, we can't continue to mesmerize the Liberian people. We must tell them the truth that what is happening is affecting the government's function. You know, governance system, especially with the kind of governance structure and system we have in our country, one branch of government being affected with an inner or internal. And the fact that that crisis internalizes and is spread, that is how it affects the other branches of government. So internalizing crisis within any of the branches of government will cause the other branches from functioning properly. Now, let me give you an example. The legislature, the executive, and the judiciary are three distinct branches of government. It's like the eye, the ears, and the nose. Any of these body parts that I've just called, if they are affected, it affects the other body parts. When your ears got maybe sore or whatever it is, it affects the eye. There will be tears running from the eyes. If the eye got problem, there will be flutes running from your nose. So the way the body parts are connected is how government is connected. Now, from the very beginning, we saw that this thing would have brought to the country a public disgrace. To have two speakers in a country, it was not a good sign. We saw the writings on the wall. We raised the red flag. And we thought that the government, through the office of the president, would have used his office, used the powers that have been ascribed and assigned to the presidency. The president would have used that, called the legislature, and mitigate the crisis that was already emerging. What did we see? We saw no efforts from the office of the president. What we saw is an escalating problem, a problem that became very monotonous. There were too many people talking in different sectors, and political pundits were saying they foresee problem, and everything that they were predicting is where we are. Where we are today, should we be relying on people from Ghana to come to our country to mitigate crisis in the legislature? That is a shame to our country. That is a shame. And all of you who are putting Liberia into this public disgrace, who are putting the country into the public ridicule. Today, I stand to say to you, woe unto you, shame on you for bringing Liberia to its knees. Whoever you are, whatever position you hold in the country, in as much you are part of the crisis that are bringing the country to where it is. Today, we are not being recognized. Our country is facing serious criticism on some of the continental bodies, like, for example, ECOWAS. Today, ECOWAS had to tell us that the way you flaunt your laws, the way you disrespect your own rules and your own laws, here at ECOWAS, we don't do it. Because in short, what the ECOWAS parliament wrote to our legislature, that was a disgraceful letter. That's very disgraceful. And maybe I should read it to all of you so that you get a glimpse of of what they wrote. Maybe you can take out the meat from out of it. Let me find that communication for you quickly. It's just a disgrace to our country, and we really need to stand as a country. What I see here is actually a disgrace to our country. What I see is actually a disgrace to our country. I'm trying to find you the letter written by the ECOWAS. Written by ECOWAS. We're trying to get it. But it was actually disgraceful. Very, very disgraceful. We can continue on that note. As a country, we cannot continue on that note. We can. While we are into all of this, the legislature, under the leadership currently of the majority bloc speaker Richard Kuhn, continuous disrespect for the laws and continue to do business as usual. I'm told they have also suspended okay, so I can easily find it. I'm sorry, but I will be looking for it while I'm talking. So in that letter, the ECOWAS Parliament said, here there is a term that ECOWAS parliamentarians serve, and they serve a term of 4 years. And so where we are, we cannot recall these people that you have asked us to recall. That was a disgrace to us as a country. If we didn't see that as a disgrace, we need to see it now as a disgrace to us. For a continental body to be telling us that we cannot. So I found it. So this letter was written to Madam Madra Sion, who is the who is the chief clerk of the House of Representatives. So they say response to the request for recall of 3 members of the Liberian delegation to the ECOWAS Parliament. Dear Chief Clerk, I acknowledge receipt of your letter dated February 25, 2025, regarding the recall of 3 members designated by the House of Representatives of Liberia to serve in the ECOWAS Parliament. Following a thorough review of your request, I wish to inform you of the following. 1. In accordance with Article 18.1 and 2 of the Supplementary Act on the enactment of the power of ECOWAS Parliament, the mandate of the community parliamentarians is set for a fixed term of 4 years. Once designated and sworn in, members cannot be removed or replaced before the expiration of their term, except in the following cases. 1, non-re-election of the member at the national level or death. 2, that is death. 3, resignation through written notification to the President of the Parliament. Certified mental or physical incapacity to perform duties. Resignation due to incompatibility, and so on and so forth. So they went on to say The honorable members, Samuel Ara Inos Sr., Maiman Briggs Menza, and Ta Wongwe do not fall under any of the aforementioned circumstances. Therefore, their replacement cannot be effected. Consequently, the honorable member of the ECOWAS Parliament will continue to serve their members their mandate until its expiration, in line with international commitments of the Republic of Liberia. So, this was a disgrace to our country. Because when this started, we raised the red flag again. We said to the Liberian people that this was wrong. The proceeding at the legislature for the new speaker who is representing the majority bloc do not have such a power to remove these people who are representing Liberia on the ECOWAS Parliament. We said it, nobody listened to us. In fact, the very rule that was quoted here in this letter, we brought it right before you. We put it on the screen for all of you to see it, and we read it together. Even before this rule is being quoted in this letter, we already knew that would have been the reliance of the ECOWAS Parliament to deny the letter written by the legislature to recall these members of the delegation. We knew it. We saw it coming. And to save Liberia of the shame and disgrace that have befallen this country, that would have been the only remedy to stop the proceeding and allow these people to serve their term of 4 years. By 2028, these people tenure will be over. And the other 1 year, you want to move in to send somebody there where you can go ahead. Because 2028, most of them will not even be at the ECOWAS Parliament. They will be coming back home to prepare for campaign. Because the moment we hit 2029, it will be a basic time for all parliamentarians. They will not be at the ECOWAS Parliament and want re-election. So you should have just allowed sleeping dog lie. But the current speaker, who represents the majority bloc, continues to bring the legislature to public ridicule. And that is why we continue to say the Liberian people are watching. 6 years is not too much time for the right things to be done. Because the way I see the legislature proceeding, and it is affecting every branch of the government. It's affecting the executive, it is affecting the judiciary. At the same time, affecting the legislature itself. While we're saying all of this, there was a ruling from the court. The court have earlier on ruled that everything that was done was ultra-viral. Let's go back and resettle our problems. That is what the court recommended. What did they do? They did not do it. Today, I'm told that they have suspended Yaka Koluba. I'm told they have suspended District Number 12 representative. Is it District 12 representative? Is it his name? Anthony Yogbo or Yogbo or whatever his name is. I'm told you are suspended as well. So the House of Representatives continues to show, the current leadership continues to show a deep sense of division. And so for the impasses at the legislature to be settled, I doubt it. I doubt it. What you need to know as well, do you know that there are people from Ghana and other countries here that the legislature, under the leadership of Majority Bloc Speaker Rachel Kuhn, decided to have a retreat. And my understanding is that retreat was meant for the legislature, and they've called in other parliamentarians. The speaker of the Ghanaian parliament is also here. And when the delegation arrived, they decided that what they've seen so far is a divided legislature. And to sit on Rachel Kuhn doing the retreat will be a legitimization of his leadership when the impasses at the house have not been settled. In view of that, they recommended that there should be a dialogue with the two groups. Our highly placed source is also telling us that that recommendation was made. Honorable Rachel Kuhn accepted that there should be a mitigation. There should be a time where they can settle some of the things that have happened. And my understanding is that the Rule of Law Caucus has said they should return the House to normalcy. That is, return to where they were before when Embattled Speaker Fonante Kofa was presiding. Let it return to that point where the presiding officer, Embattled Speaker Fonante Kofa, could stay as Speaker, and they go through the proceedings to do what they ought to do rightly. And I'm told the other side, the majority bloc, have refused, that they cannot surrender the speaker's position. What they could do in a process to amend the situation and to remedy the situation is to reconsider the decision of some of the committees that were being announced. So they could accept that and relinquish some of the committees and they go back to restructuring these committees. The Rule of Law Caucus refused, that they will not accept anything rather than going back to Embattled Speaker Fonante Kofa presiding. This is where they are. I don't know whether the Ghanaian speaker is part of the retreat that is being held at Farmington, but I know that when they came, they changed their mind from attending the retreat to mitigate and to settle the impasses at the legislature. That is exactly where we are as a country. This is not a good thing for us. For a country that is so small in population and in size, for us to continue to be at loggerhead, for us to continue to be at each other's throat, when millions of US dollars have been taken out of this country without proper accountability from companies that are operating under the cover of darkness in this country, and all our legislature is doing is fighting themselves for power. And that is how our country is today. We've been seeing, I was chatting with a Cameroonian, and I will just tell you a little bit of my conversation with him. And when I mentioned Liberia, he was like, he said, I've been hearing about Liberia, but there are too many problems in the country right now. What is going on? And I was shocked when he started to name some of the problems, because I really wanted to know whether he knew Liberia like that. So I said to him, what are some of the problems that you're hearing? Because I'm here in Liberia, I'm not. And the truth be told, he's also a journalist in his country. And he was telling me, he said, there is this band of motorcyclists, and is creating a stalemate in the country. I said, well, I've not seen a really big standoff in the country with the motorcyclists. All I know is that they protest every Monday to call the government's attention. I said, but to the latest that I know, there is a complaint that has been filed before the justice in chamber, Madam Siane Clinton. There is a petition filed before the justice in chamber by a group, a civil society group called Stand, headed by former CDC chairman Molubake Malu, who is now a civil society activist. I think the group is called Solidarity Trust for a New Day or something, but it's called Stand. And so that group filed in a petition to stop the Liberian National Police through the government from taking the action that they are taking to ban motorcyclists from plying the principal streets of Monrovia. That action is before a court, and is before the court right now, it's before the Supreme Court. The justice in chamber is the one seated at the court's gate and receives these complaints, receive these petitions, and act upon it if necessary. If it is a matter that's supposed to reach the full bench, of course, it will have to reach the full bench. And so the justice in chamber has not released, I have not seen anything to that effect. I said somebody want to help me. Whether the justice in chamber have released any prohibition or released any prohibition on the action by the police on the motorcyclists. But again, it was a standoff, like he said. He said, your legislature is at war. I said, no, legislature is not at war. He said, I don't know what's your definition of war, but if the legislature is not functioning properly, I think in my mind it is a war. So I say, okay, well, it is in your purview to describe it the way you're doing, but I think there is a little bit of, I was trying to address the issue, but it had to address. I was just trying to address it. I said, no, there's a little bit of leadership change. There's a group that don't want setting this person to preside. The other group doesn't want the person to preside. So it has been like that. And you know what he told me? He said, people know about this country more than we know about the country. He said the first thing wrong with what happened is that he said, I learned that the Senate endorsed the current speaker. I said, yes. He said, why did they do that? He said, from the reading that I've done, if the lower house cannot function properly, it is supposed to affect the Senate. But for the Senate to be fast, not to even get through the issues and mitigate it, but to just sit down and recognize the other person, he said, I think for me it was wrong. And we had that conversation. We talked about some of the things. There are people who know about this country. We are just here, though we are journalists in this country and we flag all of these issues. But it was interesting to note that a foreign journalist is reading about the country, is reading about Liberia. And what he said to me is that, he says, some of the things that are happening in your country, you people have to take cue, or else it may spill into violence. And, to save face, I told you, I say, but even Cameroon have a problem. Cameroon has a problem. And the problem there, you have a president that have overstayed his time and still doesn't want to relinquish power and this, that. And he tried to justify, some of the things. But again, he alluded to it that it was wrong. Just trying to find fault on his country too, because you can run my country down to the floor and you expect me to keep quiet. No. I will not do that. My love for this country surpasses everything. It surpasses the love that I may have for myself. Because here is it. This is the country that shelter us. This is the country that I believe, I can live in without being deported anywhere. So I love this country. But what is happening, if it is condemnable, it must be condemned. And I don't know how many of you have stand up to your lawmakers to tell them that what is happening is affecting the country. And what pisses me up the most is the fact that with all of this rigmarole, they are collecting thousands of US dollars in paychecks. It pisses me so much. It pisses me to see them collecting paycheck when they like bring people jobs and not being done. It pisses me so much when I see hospitals do not have drugs, and all I see is lawmakers taking paychecks home, and all they do is they are flaunting with new cars for the 5,000 cars. They are flaunting here and there with those things. Chief, I'm on the radio. I'm on the radio, Chief. Yeah. So it pisses me the most. It pisses me. It pisses me so much when I see lawmakers are not working, but they are taking pay. And that is the fact. They could have said that everything you're doing there is ultra-viral. So that for me, the court, the only person who overturns the court decision is God. In my mind, it's not even the president. Why? Because God is the author and finisher of our faith. He is the final bus stop that God. So that only God, because even the president is not bigger than the court. The court took a decision and said, go back. All you're doing there is illegal. Go back, sit down, restructure yourself, settle your impasses. Go and sit down. The crisis you are having is an inner fight. Go and settle it. What did the guys do? They did not go to settle the crisis or whatever. They decided to remove the sitting speaker very fast, quickly, and not even a teeny the number that they're supposed to get to remove a speaker. What am I talking about? The impasses at the house. It have reached international level. Nobody wants to do business with our country. I was talking with a friend who was just traveled out of the country, and he was telling me that the perception out there, out of the country, the way people are thinking about the country is so bad. It's because of all of these small crises at the legislature. People fighting among themselves. The other people, and the crisis continue to deepen. Because you look at your colleague and say you are suspending him for, I don't know, 6 more or how many months. And you think other lawmakers there are feeling happy with your action? You're suspending the man without his salary, without his due benefits. And you think other lawmakers there are happy? I was thinking that we would have reached a stage at the legislature, especially the House of Representatives, where we can start to have conversations on how we can settle the impasses. I thought we'd have reached that stage where we can sit down and say, look, let's look at our faults. Let's look at where we are as a first branch of the Liberian government. Let's look at ourselves. Let's see where we are at fault. Where can we correct the wrongs from and make them right? I thought these conversations would have been conversations that we're supposed to be having. Instead, every day the House of Representatives convenes, the next thing you will hear is suspension of 2 of its members. The other person is being suspended. The other person's pay has been withheld. And all of those things. We're not proceeding rightly. Let me be honest. Let me be honest. And where we are as a country, it could spill into different things if we're not careful. It could spill into different things if we're not careful. Because other people are not, they're not happy. That is how you find, because even today, as we speak, there are people who are dissatisfied at the legislature too. Even though they are with the majority bloc, but they are dissatisfied. They are dissatisfied. They are dissatisfied. I I thought to talk about that. Now, the president held his second cabinet retreat in 2025. And there were some interesting conversations that came out of the cabinet retreat. As a matter of fact, the president has been very emphatic. The president has been very clear that as it is, if the Unity Party government do not find a way to settle the issue of job creation, the president has predicted that the youth will be at their doorsteps, the youth will be at their offices causing trouble for them. That is what the president said, not me. I didn't say so. This one came directly from the president. Now, what's the legal, social, political ramifications of all of the issues that we've just talked about? The president's statement, that statement in context, what the president said, if they cannot settle the issue of job creation for the young people, the government will be disturbed. The young people will be at their homes, meaning the young people will be to ministers, president, vice president, all the government official homes, disturbing them, or to their offices, causing problem for them. That is what the president said. Do you agree with this? For me, I think this statement is the most realistic statement I've heard from a president. It's one of the most realistic statements I've heard. Why? The realities we're seeing in. Nobody has monopoly over knowledge. And the only thing the government is supposed to do for its citizens is to make the private sector vibrant. You know, let me tell you something. Job creation is not from the government cycle. Government do not appoint, or government do not employ a huge portion of the population. Government employs a minute portion, very small portion of the population. That's what the government capacity can take. Because if you make the wage bill bigger, the government is not raising revenue to fund that particular wage bill. It's a problem. I'm told there was a little fees drop from the CTMDU at the port. We'll talk about that maybe next week. But the most realistic statement I've heard in recent time, it came from the president. Now, being realistic is one thing, and being in a state of actualization for the government and the president to actualize what they have seen as a fault, and that will be a serious threat to their government, and to settle it is another thing. The government say, the president say, listen, all of what we're doing, if we do not provide jobs, if we do not provide job opportunities for the young people, remember Liberia is a youthful country in terms of population. It's a country with huge number of young age people. And so if you find the problem, the reason why you see people are involved into careless living, they're involved into all kinds of things in the country, is because they do not have a job. Let me tell you something. If somebody get a job and they're working for 8 hours, you work for in the morning, you kind of work 7 o'clock, let's say, you clock in 8, you start to work, all through the day you work up to 4, 5 o'clock. When you get home, it's 8 o'clock. What the time you have to go protest? What the time I'll be available to you to go cause problem? Now, job creation reduces crime in a country. Don't get me wrong. There's a difference between reduction of crime and eradication of crime. I did not say job creation eradicates crime. That's not what I said. I said job creation reduces crime. That is the amount of people working. If the country is a working population, if the country is gravitating towards providing jobs for the youth, and the youth are working, they are doing what they are doing, guess what? What will happen is that they will be, the people say an idle mind is the devil's workshop. So if the people working, they will have the time to sit down. They will be focused on their jobs. The time they will take to go be protesting or other things, they will not take it. So I think the president was realistic in his statement by saying, in the next few years, if the United Party cannot provide jobs for the young people, because one of the pillars on which the United Party campaign was to say, we will provide job opportunity. The CDC did not provide you jobs. That was what they said. I'm quoting what the United Party said then, that the CDC did not provide you jobs. We are here. Give us the chance. We'll provide you jobs. The young people will work. We'll bring in companies. We'll bring in concessions. We'll bring in people that will open and widen the scope of the private sector, and all of you will have time to work. The government is 1 year in power already. We're chasing the second year. Has the government brought in the companies? No. I'm told the government is still struggling with HPX. They are yet to cement the deal with HPX, an American company that's supposed to invest into railroad or whatever it is. We're knowing of that. The government came and met. There was already an expansion of the ArcelorMittal deal. It was already on the verge of being expanded. The CDC negotiated that and all of that. So the United Party has not been able to open a new avenue that I've been able to see. So the president was real. Now, the president is following in the steps of Manaseli. When Manaseli said, we failed in providing jobs for the young people, we failed. He said, Manaseli was blunt enough to have said where were their failures, where they failed as a government, where they did not. And that is the same steps I'm seeing President Bouakai following. He want to be very honest. He want to be very honest to say, listen, where we are as a country, it is a national security threat if we do not find a job for these people. It is a national security threat. It is a threat on our security if jobs are not created. And I think the president was very honest. If you ask me 1,000,000 times, I will tell you that statement from the president is one of the most sincere statements that I've heard from a president in contemporary politics in our country. That statement was very, 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 very honest. It was an honest statement. Lack of job creation is the gateway to crimes. It is a gateway for security problems in the country. It borders around national security. People ain't got a job. Some people do not have strong hearts. Some of them will turn into robbers. Go to people's homes in the night and rob them. That is why the criminal rate in the country continues to remain very high, because people believe that the only easy way that they can find something is to be hooligans, to be bandits, who will just harass people and take their things from them. But that is not the way out. So we want to hail the president for this statement. Now, what the president needs to do is to actualize this statement and say, yes, I said it at the opening of the retreat, the second retreat in 2025. I said, if the young people do not have jobs, if we cannot find a way to give them jobs, they will be at our throats, they will be at our homes, they will be at our offices. I made that statement knowing that it is a responsibility. It is a corporate social necessity for the government to provide jobs for its citizens. Now, don't get me wrong. The government cannot, even in the great United States of America, not everybody they're working. So the government cannot provide job for all its citizens, even if they make the private sector so vibrant. Not everybody will work. Some people choose say, no, I won't work for anybody. I get my little business. But again, it's a form of employment, because if the private sector is open and the government is directly driving the policy that's supposed to be driven, you can do your business free there. You can go get a business registry. You can go to the port. You get your goods coming in. You don't pay much. You take it. It's a form of the creation of what we see to make the private sector vibrant. Is also part of it. So that statement was very real. And I think we need to give the president a tap on the back. The last retreat, the first retreat, for 2025, the president said something again. The president said if government officials in his government are thinking about 2029, they should resign and go sit down and wait for the election. For him, he's not thinking of 2029, he's thinking about serving the Liberian people now. I thought in my mind that was also a statement that needed commendation. But since that time up to this time, what new thing has the president done to show that his statement then meant this thing? Because if we see the works on the ground being done, we'll refer to the statement of the president and say the president warned his officials that he was not here for 2029. What he's here for is to serve the Liberian people now. When we get to 2029, we'll sing another song. What? From that time, the president had the first cabinet retreat. What has changed? Then we all got to assess. We all got to ask ourselves. We all got to ask ourselves some hard questions. What has changed? Has there been a change? But again, the cabinet retreat, that was not just the only thing. The president also reiterated his call for transparency in government. He also reiterated his call for the asset recovery team to move. But here is it. The asset recovery team will not do anything other than what they're doing. Let me tell you why. There are people in this current government who are starting the work of the asset recovery team. You didn't hear what I said just now. Maybe you didn't get it. Let me say again. There are people in this government who are starting the work of the asset recovery team. Why are they starting the work of the asset recovery team? Because they have something under their sleeves. They want to protect some people because they are beneficiary of the spoil system. They are benefactors of the spoil system. So at the end of the day, they want to shield people. So the president made mention of that. And to several other things the president said. We're hoping. The president said there will be a huge commencement of development across the country. We wish for that. If our country develop, whosoever you are, whether you are a unity partisan, you are a CDC person, you are from CMC, you are from ALP, you are from Liberty Party, whatever political party you find yourself. When Liberia develops today under the Unity Party, or it develops under any government for that matter, we all will take the glory. Today, there are people around the world scored our government, they scored our legislature, they scored us as Liberians. You think what they're doing? They're doing that for. They're doing it because they will not go specifically to call individual and they will say Liberians. They say that you're the one, all of you. How are you? So we have to do that. Now, let's jump to Nima politics quickly and then we can take calls. Seems like our guests, they aren't here up to now. They told me at 5 o'clock, but I am yet to see them. Camera is set, everything is set for them here, but I'm yet to see them. I just confronted my producer, Josh Kear, and he said, up to date, they have nothing. The guy is saying he's around Vata. It's gonna be a tough decision to take them. Yeah, I don't know what he's here. Yeah, let me just take. But it's just gonna be a short conversation, though. Yeah, it's just gonna be a short. But let it come. So we're having the guys from Healthy Vocational Training Program, and they would just spend 10-15 minutes. Then we'll go to the lines and take your course on all of the issues that we've talked about. So we will just do that. Very, very late. Very, very late. Just sit there, Chief. Just sit right there. Please call George for me. Let him come and do something quickly, please. Thank you. Thank you so much, Sam Siafa Moloba. Sam Siafa Moloba. Yeah, thank you so much. So we will transition shortly. We're done talking about range of national issues or whatever. Anyways, then we announced the team since 5 o'clock, but like I said, it's better late than never. We can take few minutes. It's just going to be education, but we can take few minutes because the news is at 6 o'clock. So normally we end the show at 5:50. We have to take calls to talk to you on some of the issues that we've been talking about. But we will. Is George here? Okay, George, just right here. Just do an editing of the stuff and let's put Louis there and you put healthy vocational training program. So let's be listening to this thing from Senator. I got the name Senator Samuel Koga. Samuel Koga, that's Senator. You know, he said nobody will win if he win. I don't know whether it is why the man trying to transition. Let's listen to him.
Woman that coming there would lure us inside there. She will never spy in my country. That terrorist, that terrorist for the whole culture. They say the man who die, that is hero of the country. They say woman will replace it. Don't I see it before? Don't I see it before? We will never allow it to happen. The player I will say that you know that in the manual sector, because take a more society than us. I will tell the head of them to say that I'm going to do what you tell me. So we want to challenge our culture. They will sit down and say yes. The democracy I'm talking about. In the port tower, once I tell you, my president came, you will not stay on the road there. You will stay there until they say, Kadebo. It's part of our constitution, so nobody going to do this thing for the students here. They were advanced on this that you will say that. That was last budget now. Can't look at school to tell you who are as you do. Yes. The democracy I'm talking about. In the port tower, once I tell you, my president came, you will not stay on the road there. You will stay there until they say Kadebo.
Okay, it's good to be here. Let's we can transition quickly. Louis, let's see whether your mic is good. Let's test it. Yeah, let's test it. Yes. Okay. Go on again. Okay. Yeah, so we have with us Louis there, and he's from the Healthy Vocational Training Program. I showed they are incorporating young people to learn TVET programs and different things. So he would drill us through quickly. He will introduce himself and then drill us through with what they have there and how you can be a beneficiary of their program. So Louis there, welcome to, by a matter of fact, let me say this, he's a journalist as well, a full-fledged journalist. So I just needed to make that disclaimer so that people will know who we're talking to. So Louis is here. Louis, good afternoon. Welcome to Kear Radio 95.9.
Good afternoon, Desmond Brown, the district therapist of district number 17, Mosfano County. It's good to answer a question with your bigger brother on whatever issue concerning education in our country. It's good to be here, though.
Okay, thank you so much. So we don't have the luxury of time, so you just rumble through quickly. What is Healthy Vocational Training Program?
Healthy Vocational Training Program is an institute.
Just come closer to the microphone a little bit so that we'll get you.
Okay. Healthy Vocational Institute or training program. Indeed, it is an institution who try to build the human resource capacity of the young people of our country.
Okay.
You look around us, you're going to realize that bulk of young people you got drop out of high school or college, but because there's not enough teacher program, those people go on the street today. Those people either they are motorcyclists or they're selling the street. No job. Just quite recently in this, well, the last cabinet meeting here by the president.
Okay.
He said, if we don't put job,
They'll come after
they'll
us.
come after us. But now, it's not about the job. Do they have skills?
Yeah.
Do they have skills? So if we can help provide skills for young people, they will get a job. But if there are no skills, no job. That's what's happening though. So Hefty is in the position of providing skills,
Okay.
for our young people in various areas of discipline.
Okay. What are the areas you want to
So
do?
we have we call interior decoration, or some people call
What-
event decoration.
What do they do there? They learn how to decorate the hall for wedding, for different things. Okay.
Even if you buy a house, you want the interior of the house to look decent, you call
Okay.
them to do it.
Okay.
They are there to do it. You know, these days, I'm kind of wedding, you get money.
Yeah.
Interior decoration.
On my wedding, I spent almost 800 just for decoration.
Thank God, you know. Then we have
800 for
catering.
decoration, yeah.
To learn to cook better food.
Mm.
It's not about just cooking, but to cook better food.
Okay.
You get issue of cake making.
Okay.
Because that's a pastry aspect.
Okay.
So people don't understand the difference between pastry and cooking,
Okay.
right? So those who cook the food is different from those who bake the cake.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
They are quite different.
Mhm.
So you learn all these things. And one of the things we add there, because we from that background, we can leave it out.
Okay.
It's journalism.
Oh, journalism is a part of it.
And we from that background, we can leave it out.
Okay. Yeah, I see on the flyer here. Yeah.
And from that background, we can leave it out.
I actually did not see it.
Yeah, there.
Wow.
Now what we keep for now? So
That's
we can
good.
leave that out.
That's good. That's
So
good.
we have interior decoration, or we
Yeah, I
call
see it.
event decoration.
Yeah.
We have pastry.
Yeah.
We have how we call it
Hairdressing
hairdressing.
or cosmetology, you may call it.
Cosmetology is also
Okay.
there.
Okay.
Then you also have
So there's a difference between hairdressing and cosmetology. That's what I'm trying to
yeah,
get.
it's a big difference.
So hairdressing, it deals with the hair. Cosmetology deals with the feet, the hands, and the
Well,
body,
the makeup, the
face.
face.
Okay.
So it's a different thing.
Okay. Okay.
And in this era, you even find men doing that.
Okay.
You even find men doing that. So at the end of the day, you'll be able to find out that if you can build a human resource capacity of young people,
And you're doing tailoring as well.
tailoring is there.
Tailoring is here. I see pastry. I see home electricity.
Electricity.
I
But the
see
issue of
driving.
driving there.
Okay.
Let's look at the issue of electricity in our country right now.
Okay.
Everybody want light. Though LEC is doing our best drawing, but everyone want light. To stop to too much illegal connection,
Okay.
learn your trade and become a good electrician. All these courses is just for 4 months.
Okay. 4 months.
4 months.
And where you people are?
We are in a battery factory belt,
Okay.
and one of the most popular place on the Somalia Drive. You go in Somalia Drive, enter embassy, you're looking for Molokebe building. Trust me, you get us. And trust me, we are, somebody say, available. Money small
Okay.
for just 3,000 plus $10 US. And guess what?
Can carry the whole 4 months.
4 months
3,000 LD.
plus $10 US.
This is more than free.
And the good part of it,
I think the entire process only to empower young people.
that's all. The next difficulty you find is for you to what? Buy your own materials. Because people are doing event decoration, you buy your material. Cosmetology, you buy your own material.
Okay.
Catering, you think you're cooking jewelry tomorrow, you're going to market by your own spice and thing to
Yeah,
come
to
with
try to
jewelry.
cook your jewelry, yeah.
So you don't just pay the 10,000 on the spot.
You pay them in faces.
3 installments. Can you imagine that?
Wow.
So as I speak to you now, ratio is ongoing, right? And it will end at the end of March.
Okay.
So what happened? First payment is just $1,000 plus the $10 US.
First payment,
First
$1,000
payment for $10
for
US.
$10 US.
Second payment, you paying where in May.
Wow.
Between the 20th of May to the end of May, you pay $1,500.
So how can one obtain, because we almost out of time, Louis?
Okay.
How can one obtain the information sheet? How can they contact the school?
So
how can they come there?
The first thing that you look at the flyers, our announcement number.
Okay.
You look at the flyers. Numbers are there. The school is located there. You can just see free of charge. Just walk to the school. The thing you do is that if you're interested to go to the school now, then you ask for the form. But if you're free, the form is just $100 for the form. Okay. If you want, I mean, sure, the school.
I mean, when you go there, they get the information sheet, see everything there. You can request for the form, pay $100, and go fill it in and come back.
Bring it back.
Okay.
You come back every 1,010 a year.
You start school.
School starts the 7th of April.
Okay.
So it's just like free. Bro, if you're on the street today, bulk of your people are on the street.
Of course.
Not like they want to be there. But it's a training today. To you myself, we are professionals. We have our professional career that we can live by. What about our brother out there? MVDC can do it alone.
No, I mean, MVDC is even overwhelmed by the influx of people there. And Louis, there is something happening in our country. People are gravitating from this usual, ordinary, going to school, sit in the classroom, paying people, this, that. Because I wonder why you did not add, because there is this one that people running after. Maybe in your next cycle, you could look at it. CCTV installation and
lately after I was running around.
Okay.
We did everything. My team, myself, set up and stuff. Before we got instructor to do CCTV.
Oh, okay.
So, but we couldn't add it there, get to do all at once.
Okay.
So, lucky for me, the guy who want to teach a course is right by my house.
Okay.
CCTV, then started that installation.
Yeah, okay.
Right by my house. So I hope and pray the next cycle. That they will also include call biodigestic.
Okay, yeah.
Biodigestic.
Yeah.
Will be in the next cycle.
Okay.
So we're encouraging Liberian. Well, once we are located at Budget Factory in the Kevin School building.
Okay.
From Budget Factory junction to the school, I just turn that load on keke on motorbike.
Okay.
You get stroke.
Okay.
Screen of defense right behind the market.
You care to call your numbers for the public? Just take your time. There are people out there who want to be a part of this program, because to learn all of these courses, all of these things, you're picking one now. Now all you're going to do, you have to pick one. There.
So yeah, so you pick one.
You pick one.
And so someone asked me the other day, we make a class. What they can do 2 courses at the same time? I say you pay too money.
Okay, so one course that 3,000 or 10 for 4 months. So if you want to do 2, you pay 6,000 plus 20.
So that is a good part of it. You don't go to school every day. Yeah. So perhaps if you're doing, for example, someone doing catering, the catering class on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then the cosmetology class on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, you can make a say that you don't go there.
I mean, the whole week you gotta go to school.
The whole week. And for 2 o'clock in the afternoon to 6 p.m.
Okay.
So courses we run to the place is tailoring, hairdressing, event decoration. The whole poker interior decoration is event decoration.
Okay.
Cosmetology, driving, catering, pastry. There's be catering and pastry. Catering.
Pastry got to do with the cake, the bread, the different thing that you fix there.
Catering has to do with the food.
Yeah.
They will hire home electricity.
Okay.
Can you imagine whom that female who teaches schools?
Imagine that.
A female. Come from Don Bosco, degree, also in UL, coming to do home electricity. Okay. Journalism, of course, journalism. Though my back in, but we have other young people who in the media who got a degree in mass communication also, they all will be there, try to carry on. So my number are 077 88 TD8 752 077 88 TD8 752. Or better still, for Lusa users, you call me on 0880 450045.
Okay. Yeah, so that is the number for the vocational school for those of you who want to attend. It's in Battery Factory community in the Morakebe school, right from Battery Factory Junction to go to the place that just strolling distance. A 20-hour motorbike if you want to back. You can go there. The entire courses they're offering, any of the courses you take there, any of the course you take there to learn is $3,000 plus $10 US for the whole 4 months. So you got nothing to pay. In fact, you're paying the money in stages, small before you finish.
You want to pay all fine.
Yeah, you want to pay all fine. So he called his number already before the end of the show. You will also call that number again. But let's open the lines now to have your interactions on all of the things that we've talked about. Some of the things that you want to lend your voice on. Lynn Kedor says, I'm watching from Battery Factory. Thank you so much. Those of you watching, you want to leave your comments there. That would be good. But call us up on the following hotlines: 0770-573-477. Again, 0770 0770-573-477. 0770-573-477. 0881-871-670 are the numbers you can call now to be a part of the program inside Liberia on Kear Radio 95.9. Let's go to the line. Take this person. Good evening.
Hello.
Good evening.
Thank you. My name is Paul. I'm from Kansas.
Yeah, you need to shift a little bit. We're getting you, but you're coming distorted. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, you are loud and clear. Let's hear you.
Okay, so I thought.
Bossman, you can help us to shift small, please. I think I'm interested in what you want to say, but okay. Yeah, you can call us back. I'm interested in what you want to say, but the line is actually bad. You just needed to shift a little bit. 0770-573-477. 0770-573-477. 0881-871-670. The numbers you can call now to be a part of the program inside Liberia on Kear Radio 95.9. It is the weekends edition. We are also hosting Mr. Louis Kear. He comes from the Healthy Vocational program. Let's hear you. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Let's hear you.
Yes, so I think I'm much better.
Yeah, much better. Let's hear you.
Okay, so I followed the show like I said from the very beginning to where it is now. So I listened to your various talking points, and I am somehow very disappointed to be real with you.
You are what?
So to say that because of the impact, the impact at the legislature, what is happening that it just no legislative proceedings. So to even say that some of the national people do not want to work with Nigeria, I find it very dangerous. And we are taking legislative proceedings to be so big, so that we can be able to work with the country. We follow other parliaments around the world, you see that they keep and beat each other. And then similarly having our parliament, and one of the national, that is happening that we need to place to work the country. And we sit on the region.
Hello. Let's get something straight.
Hello.
I'm coming. Hello. That's not conversation we're having. I did not in any way say on this radio that the impasses at the horse will cause war in the country. That's not what I said.
No, you did not say.
So why did you bring that up, brother?
You said people do not want to work with us.
How has that equated it to welcome in the country, brother? How?
My brother, you said these are things that build up tension in the country.
No.
I don't know why this is really build tension. But why do they not even want to get with us?
Is tension not building? Is tension not building the country?
What's the tension? What should be tension for legislative proceedings, my brother? There you go. Why are investors or people not even want to work with us? Like do not have a parliament. They are not aware that in parliament people even fight.
Listen. The issue here is not about parliament having misunderstanding about something. It is about having two speakers in a country. That is what you have not understood.
Nobody has two speakers. The person are there to offer.
Right. Thank you, my brother. Your points have been heard. 0770 573-477, 0770-573-477, 0881-871-670. I show you're not getting it. So let's hear you. Good evening.
Hello, my friend Desmond.
Yeah, good evening. Let's hear you, Mama.
Let's hear
you, Mama.
Thank you for the show. No, my friend, the article in the last country. And you were telling you between one is and the best thing was saying so much of you don't know because when you're happy, they put on Facebook too and they get to like all the country. But the brother just said that nothing wrong with it. You move at the paper, you are no record nothing. You get 2 people in actually and what you were saying, you got 2 people. We got 2 people. It's gonna be a myself, that's my brother. Remember the kind of person as an investor. You understand? I thought Mr. Broker call people when they come in and meeting to stop the issue at the chemical daily. They said about 3 job. Yes, it's got a rare way. I thought the number you hear the rare way that because you are great job. It's a job for anything. So then not happening. We're not seeing it. The many of the follow get job. I want to say the job from. I thought that's not bad. And we are hearing the word for number of people with the 4 references. They will put it down. What are they going? They're going to see what we are running away. And that's rare for our country. And the second issue for one and these people are going to move forward. But I'm still going this and that is rubber or country. And get a country back in it. I'm going to be going last of country now. No country run away happy. Then you're asking where you. It can happen in parliament, the power of the scholar, they will come to number state. You actually police going there, if you have no body for offices, and that's for any country. What the one may never be saying yet. It's no, for a run, next year, and then it will not be built. So it was now. That will back you. We may wear green, wear blue, but then we will not be built. We back your way up for. Then for go to the capital very and to the full job, the whole thing, therefore. My son, that's not brown. I'll pay up there to get your number, but I love my phone.
Okay, I'll call you. I'll call you. I got your number already. 0770-573-477, 0770-573-477, 0881-871-670, 0770-573-477, 0881-871-670 are the numbers you can call. And of course, you see, I don't like to argue with people because I got a lot of things to. Let's hear you. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you. So this is Ghana is Mania in community.
Let's hear you, my dear brother.
First of all, let me say the blood work have been on. Not that stop the blood and we have the speaker, city speaker that are working. So Desmond, the issue has nothing to do with the country progress.
Okay.
And I have nothing, no effect. That speaker share working and go through the speaker. Desmond, you know, we go to school and we learn the comprehension is our problem. Article 49, Article 33 make it clear. Article 30, I tell us the simple majority do like global business. They talk about core, they not talk about speaker. And for the not talk about you can get for the now to remove the speaker and the last paragraph in Article 49. Check it out. They say we can remove the speaker and the deputy speaker by resolution. And that's supposed to say the people will be there. So, let me say this. You all represented now to minority, no one do it right. No,
wait.
The woman say like
did a woman entire own.
No, I'm not allow attacking or talking about the woman is saying like what our work is going on. Except that they are representing in minority. You know, they don't have interest in their country. Leader for that group did not have room for the country. He don't made a team go scatter like this. The time he come for me, in Italy, he's supposed to say that with police. But he tell media, he starts pointing the people that need. He starts to do all kinds of things. And the CCTV people that are talking to today, and then they want to show the men. Okay. Why the CCTV lawmakers that are against the men, why they never go to the people there? They talk to the people. Almost will have a long CCTV speaker against the men. So what will you so then you should have nothing to do with our country. So the Equa been Equa that 2 people do Equa how much country left Equa now? When the Equa rule in cabinet any issue, do your water. What it did? What it did? So what do that about? So at the end is Desmond, they want to get nothing to do. Equa, let Equa go to the power player. So that Equa will not run for if our president okay, but now we finish with our membership for Equa. Because they can't be Ghana say you can't try it. So say that primary issue you go interfere like this or Nigeria you can't try it here. Why always be like we are? but we know what they want coming from. But they want instead they made a legitimate the illegal speaker. The more take illegal money. If they make time for the check, the more go for it. The benefit, the more go for it.
Okay.
So your lawmaker that say that they want not do what what is doing.
Okay.
Who is the speaker in the country? So thank you.
Thank you so much. Let's Louis, let's go back to you. Let's talk some more about the vocational school. Then we can come back to close up. I know most of the people, the interest is high with the political issues that I've discussed probably before coming. But let's talk about the vocational school. That is my interest. For young people to be empowered it burdens my heart. It makes me feel good when I see young people advancing themselves, because you can be self-reliant. When people doing muya, you choose you won't go to muya, you can go there. If you don't want to go there, you making your quiet money, you don't get time for so I mean, with all of these courses, do you have professionals who actually will be teaching the courses? Because they're one of the things people will look out for. They look for the people who are probably teaching some of the courses. Do you people have professional people that will be handling some of the courses?
We have professionals.
Okay.
Not some. We have professionals.
Okay.
Not just professionals, we have people who are already into the business, who somebody get their own professionals.
Let me take this call quickly. Good evening.
Hey, Jeff.
Yeah, good evening.
Thank you. My name is Ali Padikoma. I'm picking family. I'm calling for around the car.
Let's hear you, my dear brother. You are a regular listener. Let's hear you.
Mr. Thanks to you even for the conversation. The last time I checked in 2023, it voted for Aliko. So far as a representative for Grand Crew, they did not vote because in Grand Crew you can't vote there for speaker. You only vote there for you to be representative, and then when you can't capital bidding and they play your colleague now can sit. And more I said, they say we want for somebody to lead, and they choose Copa and money to lead them. I want me to be speaker. So if we see people come back, they say we want you to be our leader, but you're not fit to be our leader. We want you there. And somebody say by all costs, the next you remove there, and you want with 36 vote, and then the people remove you 45% come up. They say we don't want you to be our leader. If poverty will be a share, the people not elected for going to the only thing you do is to give way to see our best so that our country will go through. But every time you say, oh, let me say, 7.5 million elaborate people money say they need to pay our budget. Let me tell you that the fact check.
That is an allegation, and we cannot
verify that. He said when he said money was passing through your budget.
Maybe I eat the money.
He said money was passing through your budget in another. How money was passing through your budget in using it in another. So the Ghana got to stop playing on the liberal people intelligence, because most of all we are smarter in Ghana because we gain the power immediately. Most smarter people in this country, they are not smart by us.
Okay.
So the only thing you can do, even if some people can come out today and say the ruling will get it last time, will get it issue of Kuba. There is no way Kuba can be speaker in our particular already. So then just are wasting the liberal quota. I just sorry for the poor girl because eating the full money and you're not working for it and continue to say you're not working for money for that money when you give it or take it and give back the poor girl. If you now do the people where just see how better resign for the entire house of representative so that people will let another person that will come and do that work. But then you're wasting the poor girl time. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We're not taking any more calls. We'll just go to Louis now. We'll talk about how school beginning because the politics overshadow. I mean, you would have come early.
Sure, you saw the traffic, the of the road.
But we still have another time.
Yeah,
come back
sure.
Before the school reopens. But let's hear your response to some of the.
So, like I said, we don't just have professionals. We don't just professionals. Those people who practicing what they learn.
Okay.
There's somebody else going to learn, but this people. Therefore, take an example. The girl who come and do the girl who do the hairdressing. The one been in hairdressing business for years. She currently teaching 2 different schools. Okay. But because of her personal relationship with her, she decided to quit one of the school.
Okay.
And she's taking her own personal school at her place. So they'll go there every school year to teach them. Now, they even took a ratio. I get 2 instructors to teach our courses.
Okay.
So Liberians want to help. All they want is the avenue.
Okay.
Create avenue, they will come in the picture. So everything you're going to do is here on decks.
Okay, so you want to go over the fees again?
So the fees, the courses, the fee is very affordable for small kinky money. It's just 3,000 plus 10 US, and then you are done.
And classes starting in April.
April 7.
Okay, the 7th of April.
So all you need to do, go to the campus, ask for the information sheet, go to it.
The campus, I mean the school is located at
in
the
factory. In the Kear school building.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a fence right behind the market. Okay. Right in that fence is the Kear school. If I see ask anyone that go to school, it's a walking distance, but maybe first time you will walk.
Yeah,
but it's a walking distance. So we offer 8 courses for this first cycle: tailoring, hairdressing, cosmetology, pastry, catering, home electricity, and journalism into it. Now, there's a difference between industrial electricity and home electricity.
Okay.
So make it clear.
Home electricity is just the wiring, the common wiring
of your
house and other things. Industrial, they do with companies and other things.
No, the company talking about industry talking about what you do with transformer.
Yeah,
it's
big institution. Yeah,
that will not do that one day.
Okay.
If you are driving, make it clear. We are not doing heavy duty driving. People been calling me from the work. I'm not doing heavy duty driving because we not get job. So
okay. So again, you want to announce your numbers before we take leave of you, Louis?
So if you want to be a part of the training program, it's just for 4 months. To the end of this course, it's just 3,000 plus $10 US, and you can pay by installment. The first installment is $1,000 for $10. That is, you paid in the month of March. In the month of May, you pay $1,500.
Somebody said I should ask you whether you have any special offer, like if the person gave you 4 students, would they have this?
So if you give out 4 students, no, not 4, you give 5 for the 5 students.
Okay.
What do you get 4 the 5 students? If the person is in the school, give 50% discount.
Okay.
If you're in the school and you bring 5 students for the 5 students.
Well, why if you also? Why if you also and you bring the student?
If also you bring a student, then we give you a student free of charge.
Okay. So somebody just wrote and asked that question. So
we get free of charge.
So just call your numbers before we take leave of you all the way out of time.
077 88 38 752. That's my orange number. 077 88 38 752. Or you want to call the Lone Star line is 0880 450045.
Okay.
You get me going.
All right, Louis. And a final word before we take leave of you.
So I want to say thanks so much to you, the district therapist of District 17, Montreal County, for the invite. I want to say thanks to the Kear family. You guys do an amazing job here. And I pray that today will not be the first interaction or the last interaction concerning TVET training program in Liberia.
Okay.
And we hope before the school opening, we'll be back here to say more concerning our program.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Des.
Okay. Thank you so much. That was journalist Louis Secretaire, and he's now transitioned into